You can think of regular dreams like watching a movie someone else put on the background. It has a determined ending and you can't control it. Lucid dreaming is the solution to this, however. It's the art of becoming aware inside of a dream that you're dreaming, and this allows you to do anything. You're able to become your favorite superhero, travel to any planet, whether it's real or fake. You're able to learn from your subconscious mind, and you're actually able to learn real life skills through creating neural pathways, such as improving your confidence by speaking in front of a crowd of 1,000 dream people. Or you're able to practice the piano inside of a dream and learn a song. And over the past 3 years, I have been hooked into learning exactly how to lucid dream. I watched video after video. I tried technique after technique. Pretty much anything about lucid dreaming, I've tried it. A lot of this stuff worked, a lot of it didn't, but the problem was very quickly, regardless of the technique, I found myself out of habit and had to start over again from the complete beginning. And when you have to start over from the complete beginning, your motivation drains. So lucid dreaming just seems more of a chore rather than this fun, amazing, life-changing thing that it is. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the 3 things that I did to make it so lucid dreaming didn't feel like a chore that needed to be done, but instead felt like the life-changing practice that it is. This made it so I went from being inconsistent, just trying to get one lucid dream, to consistently remembering my dreams and practicing the things that matter, so lucid dreams just come naturally to me. If you've had a lucid dream before, you know how exciting the feeling is of having your very own hyper-realistic world at your fingertips where you're able to do absolutely everything. And this was very exciting for me at the start. I heard about lucid dreaming when I was 16, and for the first month I practiced all of these habits, and they eventually got me my first lucid dream. I was so excited. I couldn't believe how real it felt. But very quickly, I stopped having things I wanted to do inside of the lucid dream. And this was one of the first of the 3 things that made it so I became inconsistent at lucid dreaming. See, when you start lucid dreaming, like a lot of people, my first goal was to fly. And after about a month and a half of practice, I actually got this goal completed and I was super excited. But the problem was, very quickly after this, flying got boring. It didn't have that excitement, didn't have that wow factor that I had the first time I got it. So my brain didn't justify putting all of this time and energy into practicing lucid dreaming just to do something I've already done multiple times in dreams before. So what I'm getting at is you need to have a strong enough reason to continue lucid dreaming. Maybe you've done the flying and now that's kind of not worth your time anymore. What is that thing that's going to make it so you constantly are practicing lucid dreaming and you constantly have a strong enough reason to keep going, especially when times are tough? For me specifically, this is being able to improve myself and connect with the back of my mind at a deeper understanding and not be distracted by the materialistic things in the world. And I can actually understand myself at a deeper level. This is something that I can constantly keep doing and go back to, which will always bring me that excitement. I also understand why it's important, and so my brain understands putting in all of this time and effort into practicing and getting better at lucid dreaming, because it wants to understand itself better and it wants me to improve my life. If I wanted to fly every lucid dream I got and that was the only thing that kept me going, I would quit very fast. And that's what happened to me because I didn't have a strong enough reason why. This could be anything for you. I would just start with one and then add more when things go on. Again, maybe you want to get better at a certain sport. Maybe you want to get better at talking in front of people. Maybe you want to think of business ideas that you can actually apply in the real world. You're able to do all of it in lucid dreaming, and it might take some practice to get to that point. But if you don't have a strong enough reason, you're never going to get to that point of having consistent lucid dreams to change your life. So that's the first thing. Have a strong enough reason why you're lucid dreaming. So like a lot of lucid dreamers, when I first started, I used a lucid dreaming tracking app. So what this is you basically track your dreams and your lucid dreams. You would just type out the dream description, type all of your dream signs, and just put it on an app and just let it go. Perfect, it's awesome to track something, which this is a good thing to track something. The problem is that I was putting all of my focus on the wrong things I was tracking. So what happened to me was the first month of me lucid dreaming, I had to focus on what is called the input habits. So this would be writing down the last thought I remember before bed every morning, doing my reality checks, my meditation. When you get one of these apps, it tends to put your focus from these input habits to the outward results. This would be remembering dreams or how many lucid dreams you had, because your outputs are created from your inputs. So what happened to me was the first month I would focus all on my inputs because that's all I could focus on. But then the second month I saw my dream stats tracker. I'm like, wow, I'm doing really well. So I wanted to optimize for the output. I wanted to try these one night techniques to make it so I would have a lucid dream. And it worked at the start. But the problem was I neglected the inputs after this point because I was so focused on just getting the lucid dream for that night that I forgot to do all the habits that actually got me there in the first place. So very quickly, I had to start from the complete beginning, and with being down so much motivation and not having a strong enough reason why, I barely picked up lucid dreaming for years after this. It was just on and off and on and off, and I was very inconsistent. That's because I have done all of these problems before and I fixed all of them, so that's why I'm telling you them. But the second thing is you have to focus on the input habits. You have to focus on how many reality checks you're doing every day, how many minutes of meditation, how much emphasis you're putting on your sleep, how much time you are focusing on writing down the last thought you had before going to bed. These are the things you need to focus on instead of just how many lucid dreams did I have this month? How many dreams did I remember? Those are the outputs which completely come from the inputs. That's the second thing. Focus on the input habits. So this last point, it's actually pretty stupidly simple, but it doesn't really get talked about a lot in lucid dreaming. So this took me years to figure out on my own, but it's very simple. So if you just listen and take some action after this, you should be able to skip years of suffering and unnecessary pains toward learning lucid dreaming, so you can get to the fun stuff faster. And so what happened when I had my first month of good lucid dreaming and then I fell off? What happened after that? I realized that things kept happening. This could be I had an assignment at school, I had a lot of shifts at work, and I didn't have that time to put all of this emphasis into practicing all of my techniques. Or maybe you had a new life situation pop up, it just got really busy. So this kept happening to me, and it got really frustrating because I got in this cycle of being from the complete start. I started to learn my habits, I started to build everything up, and then bam, something would happen and would make me lose and revert all of my progress. So I don't know how I was supposed to stay consistent at lucid dreaming when I kept losing all of my progress and having to restart from the complete beginning. And the problem I was having is I didn't have a system. I didn't have a plan that would make it so I was able to lucid dream regardless of life's circumstances and what it threw at me. So I'll give you an example. I had a lot of problems with school, so I had to get all of my assignments done, and I had to really focus on what colleges I wanted to go to, making sure I passed the exam in all of my classes. And so this took the majority of my time. So balancing this with hanging out with my friends, hanging out with my family, working, trying to fit lucid dreaming into that was very difficult. And the reason it was so difficult wasn't exactly because all the things were happening. It was because I didn't have a system that kept me accountable even when life threw things at me. So after years of this habit just reoccurring over and over and over again, having all this unnecessary pain and suffering, I decided to create myself an unbreakable system that made it so I focused on being consistent rather than just trying to chase lucid dreams. And this system made it so I tracked every single key aspect of lucid dreaming, so I knew what actually works best for me instead of someone else. I'll give an example. Maybe meditation doesn't work as well for you as, let's say, a technique. But some people, maybe the best thing they need to focus on is actually getting 8 hours of sleep every night. So it's really tough to stay consistent with lucid dreaming when you don't actually know what makes you lucid, and when you don't have a plan for when life throws things in your way. And so this plan, I made it, it's very moldable. So it's able to fit into any routine. I take 5 to 10 minutes in the morning to write down everything that's important for lucid dreaming. And at nighttime, I'll set intention, I'll try to get some meditating in, and throughout the day, I will perform reality checks. It can fit into almost any routine. Doesn't matter how busy your life's getting, you're able to still lucid dream with all that going on. So those were the 3 things that took me years to figure out. Honestly, if I had this information when I first started, I could have skipped all of this, all of those years of pain and suffering and just tripping over myself again and again and again, and not having that nice, easy process. And I just want to give that as a piece of value to you. If you're interested in lucid dreaming content, check out my channel. It's all about lucid dreaming. If you want a big tutorial, I have a 42-minute video explaining exactly what I do for my lucid dreaming system. So if you want extra information, watch that. Anyways, I appreciate you getting to the end of the video. Have a great day. See ya.